She screamed, "Step out of the car now!" And the man beside her flashed a badge that looked real for half a second. Then my wife noticed his hands shaking. Red and blue lights were bouncing off the trees, but something felt off. This wasn't a real stop. My wife stayed calm, rolled the window down just a little, and said, "What's the reason?" The woman snapped back, "You HOA people never listen. You're not allowed on this road." Then she leaned closer and whispered, "We can take you in right now." My wife glanced at the dashboard camera. It was recording. She slowly smiled, not scared, not loud, just quiet. The man with the badge tried to open the door. That's when she said the line that changed everything. "You should step back, because this car belongs to someone you really don't want to mess with." The woman laughed and said, "You think you're special? We run this place." Then a tow truck rolled up out of nowhere like it was all planned. The woman pointed at my wife and yelled, "Tow it! She's trespassing HOA property." My wife's phone buzzed. One message from me. "I'm watching the live feed." She took a deep breath, looked straight at them, and calmly said, "Go ahead. Do it." They didn't know this was never a routine stop. They didn't know they were already trapped. The tow driver hooked the car fast, acting like he'd done this 100 times. My wife stepped out slowly, hands visible, calm face, but her eyes were sharp. The fake cop leaned in close and said, "You're about to learn how things work around here." She didn't answer. She just tapped her phone once. Live stream still on. The woman, Karen, noticed the phone and snapped, "Turn that off!" She reached for it, but my wife pulled back and said quietly, "Touch me and this gets very serious." Karen laughed loud, trying to look powerful. "Serious? You're already done. HOA rules. Private road. You're lucky we're not arresting you." Then Karen pulled out a paper and waved it like a weapon. "Violation notice. Unauthorized driving, resistance." None of it made sense. My wife asked one simple question, "Which HOA?" Karen froze for half a second, then shouted, "All of them!" That pause said everything. The fake cop whispered to Karen, nervous now. The tow driver avoided eye contact. My wife slowly turned her body so the camera caught all their faces. She spoke soft, almost friendly. "Just so you know, this footage uploads in real time. Multiple servers." Karen's smile cracked. She stepped back and yelled, "Finish it! Tow it now!" That's when my wife said the line they never expected. "You really should have checked who you were stopping. Because this road doesn't belong to your HOA." Karen snapped, "Don't lie to me!" and pointed down the road like she owned it. "This whole area is under HOA control." My wife didn't argue. She didn't raise her voice. She just reached into the glove box, slow enough to keep them calm, steady enough to show she wasn't scared. The fake cop tensed up, hand shaking near his belt. She pulled out a folded document and held it up through the window. "County seal. Public access road." Karen's face went stiff, then angry. "That's fake," she shouted. "He always forges stuff. I know his kind." The words hung heavy in the air. Ugly. Personal. The fake cop stepped closer again, trying to scare her. "Ma'am, step away from the vehicle, or you will be detained." My wife finally looked him in the eyes and said, "If you touch me, you're done." Silence. Then she tapped her earpiece and spoke calmly. "Dispatch? Confirm ID location ping." Karen laughed nervously. "Who are you talking to?" My wife smiled. Not loud, not proud, just certain. People who don't pretend. A second later, Karen's phone started ringing. She ignored it. Then the fake cop's phone rang too. His face went pale. The tow driver unhooked one chain by mistake, hands shaking. My wife said the viral line, slow and clear. "You called this a routine stop, but routine stops don't involve fake badges." The fake cop answered his phone with a shaky, "Hello?" and turned his back, like that would save him. Karen hissed, "Hang up!" But it was too late. His shoulders dropped. Whatever he was hearing wasn't good. He looked at my wife, then at the ground like a kid caught lying. Karen stepped forward, loud again, trying to take control. "This is harassment! She's threatening us!" My wife didn't move. She just said, "Everything you've done, every word, is on camera." Karen's voice cracked for a split second. "You can't record HOA enforcement." My wife replied, calm as ice, "You're not enforcing anything." Then she did something that changed the mood completely. She reached into her pocket and showed her ID. Not to them. To the camera. Karen squinted, confused. What is that supposed to be? My wife looked straight at her and said, It's the reason real cops are already on their way. The fake cop backed up fast. Karen, we should leave. Karen snapped at him. No, she's bluffing. But her hands were shaking now. The tow driver quietly started unhooking the car for real this time. Sirens echoed far away. Not close, but close enough. My wife leaned against the door and delivered the line that hit hard. You tried to scare the wrong family, and you picked the worst place to lie. Karen's face went red. She pointed at my wife and screamed, Arrest her now! Like saying it louder would make it real. The fake cop panicked and grabbed my wife's arm for just 1 second. That was the mistake. My wife didn't pull away fast. She looked straight at the camera and said, Calm and clear. Did you all see that? Karen smirked. Good. Add resisting arrest to the list. The fake cop tried to put cuffs on her. The metal clicked once, then stopped. My wife stayed still, not scared, not fighting. She let it happen. That hurt to watch, humiliating, wrong. Then the sound came back. Sirens much closer now. Karen's smile faded. Ignore it, she said fast. Finish it! The fake cop froze. The tow driver stepped away like he didn't know them anymore. My wife finally spoke again, voice low. You just crossed the line. 2 real police cars pulled up hard. Lights everywhere. Doors slammed. A real officer shouted, Hands where we can see them! Karen spun around. Thank God you're here. She attacked us. The officer didn't look at my wife. He looked at the fake cop. Then at the badge. Then at the cuffs. Whose equipment is that? Silence. My wife smiled for the first time and said the line that flipped everything. I've been waiting for you. The footage already sent itself. Karen started talking fast, words tripping over each other. This is an HOA matter. We were just doing our job. The real officer raised his hand. Stop! He turned to my wife. Ma'am, are you okay? She nodded once. I am now. Another officer walked straight to the fake cop. Badge number? The man opened his mouth. Nothing came out. The officer gently took the badge, flipped it, and sighed. This isn't even close. Karen stepped back, shaking her head. You don't understand. She's been causing trouble. Her husband thinks he owns the place. That's when I arrived. I parked right behind the police cars and got out slow. Karen recognized me and snapped, Him! He's the problem! I looked at her and said calmly, I own the road. And the cameras. The officer looked at me. Sir? I handed him the folder. Deeds, permits, county maps. He took one look and nodded. This is public access. No HOA control. Karen's mouth opened, closed, opened again. The fake cop whispered, Karen, I told you. The officer turned to her, voice firm. Ma'am, you're being detained for impersonating law enforcement, false reporting, and unlawful detention, Karen screamed. This isn't over! I looked at my wife and said the line that stuck with everyone. You were never in control. You just thought you were... Karen fought the cuffs, yelling about connections, lawyers, power. But nobody was listening anymore. Neighbors had come out, phones raised, whispers spreading fast. The fake cop sat on the curb, head down, badge on the ground like trash. The tow driver quietly gave a statement, pointing at Karen again and again. One officer asked my wife, Do you want to press charges? She didn't answer right away. She looked at our car. The scratch on the door, the shaken tow chains. Then at Karen still shouting. Finally, she said, Yes, all of them. Karen snapped, You can't do this to me! My wife replied, steady and cold. You did this to yourself. The officer read Karen her rights while the crowd recorded every word. That was the moment she realized. There was no undo button. As they walked her to the cruiser, Karen tried one last move. She looked at my wife and said, People like you don't win. My wife didn't raise her voice. She said the line that ended it. People like you only win when nobody speaks. The door slammed. Sirens faded. Justice didn't scream. It clicked shut. End the story.